Okay, thank you, and welcome everybody to the meeting of the Regional Transport Subcommittee. So straight on to the agenda, item 1 is apologies for absence. Is there any additional apologies we need to add to those already notified?
No, Chair, no apologies have been received this morning.
Okay, thank you. Item 2 is declarations of interest. Any members or officers on the call need to declare anything? Again, can't say anything, so no. On to item 3, which is the minutes of the previous meeting of the subcommittee, which was held on the 28th of November. If members are happy, can I ask if it's just moved and agreed? Yep, thank you, John. I can see Councillor Crimmins. Okay, that's moved. I can't see any dissent, so unless there is, I'll take it as agreed. Item 4 then is the draft regional transport plan. And is it Colin, please, you can take us through it?
Yes, absolutely, Chair. I'll take you through the first part of it, and then Claire will go into some of the detail. And then I'll finish off by discussing our approach to consultation. So the report, the Regional Transport Subcommittee is being asked today to recommend that the draft Regional Transport Plan, the Regional Transport Delivery Plan and Integrated Wellbeing Assessment are recommended to South East Wales Corporate Joint Committee for approval to proceed to public consultation, and also to note the approach to consultation on the RTP. I'll provide some background and context, at which point Claire will come in and discuss the RTP itself and the RTDP, which is the newer item. So effectively, we know that we have a statutory duty relating to regional economic wellbeing, spatial planning and transport planning as a corporate joint committee, this new form of regional governance in Wales. The South East Wales Corporate Joint Committee is obliged to produce a regional transport plan that has a 5-year lifespan from 2025 to 2030 in the first instance, and this has been developed iteratively in consultation with members here, regional transport officers, other key internal and external stakeholders, and that includes Welsh Government and Transport for Wales. So we brought forward drafts to this subcommittee on the 10th of October and also on the 20th of November, and each session has provided important guidance and input from members on future direction. Just some notes, this is a landmark moment for South East Wales and has been a significant collaborative effort, as we say, across a number of internal and external stakeholders. It is the first regional transport plan for South East Wales under the current guise, and we note that it doesn't run in line with the strategic development plan or other statutory duty. That will be from 2031, but we are working to make sure that they're aligned. Ultimately, transport and our approach to wider infrastructure development, it will underwrite our economic well-being objectives and ambition as a region. We're also building on strong foundations of regional working. This isn't new to us as a region, and as someone who's newer to the region in the last 3 or 4 years, I've noted that there are relationships that go back decades in some cases, but particularly with the Regional Transport Authority since 2017. So to clarify the timeline to get to this point, we had an implementation plan approved in November 2023 that outlined the process and the core components of the Regional Transport Plan. The case for change was approved in July 24 and subsequently approved by the South East Wales Corporate Joint Committee. The case for change outlined the key stages in the production, so we're actually at the back end of that process now. We're at the stage of going to public consultation if the subcommittee is content. The case for change also involved an engagement plan, and I'll revert back to that later because we need to show who will be involved in further development of the RTP and including details of the formal consultation process. At that point, Chair, if it's okay, I'll pass on to Claire, who will outline some of the headlines on the Regional Transport Plan itself and the Regional Transport Delivery Plan. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Claire?
Okay, thanks, Chair. In respect to the Regional Transport Plan, we need to submit this plan with the Integrated Wellbeing Assessment and the Regional Transport Delivery Plan to Welsh Government by the 30th of May to enable them to authorise it by the 30th of June to make sure that any changes to funding allocations for the following year are able to take place. So in respect to the Regional Transport Plan itself, we've followed the guidance prescribed by Welsh Government in terms of a case for change and evidence-based review, as Colin has referred to. The RTP needed a vision, objectives, and particularly policies to enable high-level interventions to be put into the Regional Transport Delivery Plan. So, like Colin said, we've presented previous iterations to you in previous meetings, and this is the third and final draft iteration that is being presented today to request to submit to the Corporate Joint Committee to enable us to go out to consultation for a 12-week period in line with the guidance and the legislation. So the Regional Transport Plan also includes an integrated wellbeing appraisal, which then includes the environmental appraisals as well, incorporated into the wellbeing assessment, and a draft Regional Transport Delivery Plan, which includes both capital interventions, so on-street hard interventions, but also revenue interventions in terms of behaviour change, in terms of road safety training, and the likes into the Regional Transport Delivery Plan. In the final Regional Transport Delivery Plan, we will have to prioritise, and during the consultation process, there'll be workshops set up with officers and partners to look at how that prioritisation can look, and also with the appraisal done by the Transport for Wales and the assessment criteria, we will look to bring all of them together to provide you with a draft Regional Transport Delivery Plan over the plan period, which we will need to submit to Welsh Government when we submit the final draft Regional Transport Plan. But that work will, at the moment, when we go out to consultation, because things could change in the Regional Transport Plan, the objectives could change, the policies could change, it's not feasible to have a costed, prioritised plan to go out to consultation for delivery, because it'll be subject, we'd be predetermining what the consultation results come out at. So at the moment, it's just a list of schemes under the various objectives and interventions, a list of interventions that could meet the policies and the objectives of the current draft plan. That's it. Thanks.
Okay, thank you both. I think the approach that's been taken is the right one, and also we need to recognise that the plan needs to be relatively deliverable over the 5-year period and affordable. And I know from our local authority, when we've put forward schemes, there's other schemes that we certainly would like to see in the future, but again, we have to be realistic around what can be taken forward in the 5-year plan. And also, I think you mentioned about not having an actual costed, almost like a ranking of schemes. Again, that does come down very much to deliverability and working through those schemes. Yeah. Some are more developed than others. Some from local authorities will be aspirational, and there's an intent to want to take them forward, but obviously there's going to be a lot of work needed around them, and we have no idea around land ownership and various other obstacles. So I think it's much better the way that you've set it out. Otherwise, I think we would be raising people's expectations if we were to rank and have a definitive list, when realistically we know some of that might not be deliverable in the period. So working through the way that you've done it, and also by doing the, I think, soft consultation to get to this stage, working with key partners, Welsh Government and others, and the 10 local authorities, I think has been the right way to get to this stage. I'll open it up now for members to comment, to ask any questions on what officers are presenting and what's in the document. Before then, I'll go to recommendations. So if you could indicate, hopefully I got a new iPad today, so hopefully I can see that everybody's hands, or I can see, Colin, please, you want to go first? And then I'll come to John.
Sorry, Chair, I think we're going to move to exam session for the discussion on the Regional Transport Plan itself. I think, Cluna, is that right?
Okay, so if we go to camera at this point, then so we stop the public broadcasting recording.